Japan spent 34 years as the lender the rest of the world leaned on, the country that quietly financed everyone else's borrowing. And that role just ended. The change didn't arrive with a crash. Instead, it came via a single line in a report that almost nobody opened. Japan dropped to the third biggest creditor on Earth. A creditor is a country the rest of the world owes money to, and Japan had held the top spot since 1991. Germany overtook it last year. China overtook it this year. But Japan didn't get poorer to lose it. Its assets abroad hit a record $3.5 trillion. So, how do you lose the crown in the same year you're richer than ever? Well, because holding your own currency up now costs more than the interest the world pays you to hold its debt. Take the yen. It sank to 162.8, a low it hadn't seen since 1986. To defend it, Japan sold $75.6 billion of foreign assets in a single month. That's the biggest drain on its reserves in over 20 years, pushing toward a decade low. But it gets worse, because the fix feeds the problem. A senior official said the quiet part out loud. When Japan sells US treasuries to hold the yen up, it nudges American interest rates higher. Higher rates lift the dollar, and a stronger dollar pushes the yen straight back down. So every rescue digs the hole a little deeper. So what do you do when you can't win in the open? You stop announcing your moves. Reuters reported that Tokyo has dropped its currency warnings entirely. No threats, no line in the sand. So traders are left on edge, and that unease does the ministry's job for free. But there's a harder ceiling underneath. Step in too often, more than 3 times in 6 months, and under IMF rules, a currency can lose its status as a freely floating one. Japan's currency chief called the last operation a success on June 30th. The yen is already trading below where that operation began. So Japan isn't running low on cash, it's running low on moves it's allowed to make. But this goes beyond Japan. For 40 years, governments borrowed for decades at almost no extra cost. Now, why so cheap? Because a wall of institutions turned ordinary savings into a permanent buyer of long-term bonds. Pension funds, insurers, and central banks are buying by the trillion. Right now, that machine is running in reverse. That generation is retiring. A retiree doesn't buy a 30-year bond, he cashes one in. The Netherlands alone is moving 1.6 trillion euros into a new pension system by 2028, and the governments that sold the debt saw it first. Britain cut its long-term bond sales to 9% of its program, the lowest since 2005. Japan is shaving its 20, 30, and 40-year issuance every month. Across the rich world, $13.5 trillion of debt has to be refinanced, and that's now 80% of everything being sold. Now look at the mechanics of this shift. Take money short-term, promise it back long-term. That's what a bank does for a living. Do it at the scale of an entire nation with no deposit insurance behind it, and you've built a shadow bank. The gap between short borrowing and long promises didn't get fixed. It just got pulled forward right into the upcoming years. Now you might be thinking, that's Tokyo and Amsterdam. What's it got to do with me? Well, the same engine printed a number in Washington. The Social Security trustees pulled the date the retirement fund runs dry forward by a quarter to late 2032. After that, only 78% of benefits get paid. And the single biggest reason? They cut the birth rate they'd been assuming from 1.90 to 1.75. The US downgraded its own retirement math because too few children were born to fund the system. It is the same mechanism at work, but this time it's aimed at your wallet. So how close is the edge? Honestly, further off than the headlines suggest. The extra yield America pays to borrow long, what economists call the term premium, is sitting around the 35th percentile of its 65-year range. This means we're nearer the start of this cycle than the end. And when the big buyers come back, they come back demanding a better price. One Japanese insurer, Meiji Yasuda, is doubling its long bond buying and calling 4% a perfect buying opportunity. Now, keep in mind, I am not a financial advisor, and none of this is financial advice. But here's what I'm watching. The Bank of Japan meets July 31st and looks set to hold, and the Fed chair sees no rush to hike. In early August, Tokyo publishes its intervention record day by day. Meanwhile, gold sits above 4,100, and gold is the one thing here that doesn't depend on somebody else keeping a promise. So step back and observe. Japan didn't fail, it just got there first. The lender the world leaned on is now a seller, and the rest of us are in the same queue, only further back. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.